Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to a vlog video, courtesy of Mafia Remastered Edition. I haven't played this game in 2 years, I think. I think the last time I played this was summer of 2022. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was summer of 22. I might have to look back. When I recorded a couple of episodes, it might have been I think it was 2020. I think it was 2022. So I'm basically coming back to this so I can talk to you guys, because I haven't talked to you guys in a while. And I usually... So I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to go into options, display audio, master volume. We're just going to knock this back a couple notches, because I want to be able to talk to you guys and do whatever. So actually, I want you guys to still be able to hear me, but also hear the vehicles. These are... So yeah, I'm revisiting the game. I'm gonna start putting up to an 8, and sound effect up to 8. For those of you who have not watched this channel, I do actually have a live stream for this, and I basically race hearses. It's absolutely hilarious. It was probably recorded probably 4 years, probably 3.5 years ago. So it was one of my live streams. Well, not one of my live streams, but one of my long recording sessions. And it's been a while since I've actually recorded this game, so trying to find a car that's not gonna totally overpower my I'm gonna choose this one. Interior color, I'm gonna give it a... Do I want chocolate or jelly? Yes, that is a Dragon Ball reference.
Make sure that he only has eyes for...
Gonna turn off the radio because I got copyright on every single video that I've done. Forgot how to put on the limiter. There's this limiter. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a small little... It's raining here in Chicago. Fun fact, this is based on Chicago, folks. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a small little cruise around town, and I'm gonna bid this one to do. I'm gonna be here for maybe half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, or how long my battery will last on this controller. So yeah, it's been a while since I've actually had a heart-to-heart chat with you guys, and actually had to talk to you guys for a long time. I usually save these, and it's middle of the week, so I usually, or as we call it at work, we call Wednesday Hump Day now, I guess. I guess that's a new thing, because everybody comes up to me and asks me what day it is, and you guys know which commercial I'm talking about. The camel. Mike, what day it is? What day is it? What day it is? And then the guy named Mike is like, it's called Hump Day. Yeah, it's Hump Day, yeah. And all that is so hilarious. So welcome to Hump Day. And no, it's not what you think. So, it's just, because it's kind of the middle of the week, so everybody's low on energy. Life kind of sucks, Inflation's terrible, and it's actually funny that I'm playing a Depression era style game, and we're currently in the middle of a big recession right now, because of just, well, I'm not going to blame anybody, but we have the pandemic to thank for that, so. And no one wants to really, hey, look, it's Chinatown. Gonna get some egg for you. So yeah, work is kind of, it's interesting. We're going through a lot of changes, as I've said before. Hopefully they keep going that way. Things seem to be a little questionable, but I've been in retail long enough, so I'm not gonna bore you guys too much with the details, because I hate talking about work. So, all I can tell you is that things are going smoothly. Let me just. I actually have it on. I don't have it on manual because speeding. What do you think I'm doing? In the 1930s. Just gonna give you guys a look at this Talbot Lego. Actually, no. It's more of a Bugatti Atlantic Coupe, actually. Little Talbot Lego, little Bugatti Atlantic Coupe going on here. So, yeah. I just want to talk about a couple things. I don't want to talk about work because it's boring. I'm not really interested in talking about work. Let me just fill up really quick, so I might run out of gas. You can actually run out of gas in this game. So you can run out of gas, and it's hilarious how much you can. So if I thrash this for a whole session, and I blast this, so if I take it to the Julie, oh, I don't want to do that. Where's this cursor at? My vision is so bad. So I'm just going to blast it down the Julian Bridge. No one's going to come after me, really, because this is New York 1940, because this is I know this is not New York, but they call it after Giuliani. You know, Rudy Giuliani, haha. Probably one of the best mayors New York has ever had. Like, they lost crime. Like, the crime rate went down when he was policing the city. Not like Andrew Cuomo, who couldn't do much politic-wise in his city. He was kind of a not so nice guy. So, but yeah, so I just whoosh. Ooh, is that a... No, that's an ice cream truck. Ooh, I bowled over an ice cream truck. Oh, I bowled over an ice cream truck. Damn it. I hope you guys can hear me, because I turned down the volume, because sometimes when I turn it up and it goes too high, it overpowers your ability to hear what I'm saying, because these engines get pretty loud. I know everybody's like, oh, it's the 30s. Of course the engines were loud. Cars actually in the 30s were actually very quiet. Like smooth straight 8 engines in the 30s and 40s were very smooth. How do I know this? Go beside a Packard from like the 30s. Packard sedan from the 30s. And I've heard one in my lifetime, or a couple in my lifetime. Very low revving. Kind of industrial. Just back when the engines were cheaper and you didn't need about 1 million horsepower to impress anybody. Like this Turbo Lego right here has probably 200 and... I'm going to say over being 230, 250 horsepower, which in 1930, which in the 30s was a lot. But then everybody's going to say, oh, so what about the auto unions and the Mercedes over in Germany? Well, yeah, they're strong, but they're not in this game. So we have the Italians represented in this game. We do not have the Germans represented in this game. Although Mike von Lichtmann is actually German, and it's kind of a nod to, well, the Germans who drove for Alfa Romeo under the whole socialist regime, but we won't talk about that because it's nasty business. I thought somebody almost was about to hit me. They had to do that because they couldn't do the Confederate flag thing. You can't do that, and you can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore, unfortunately, because it's offensive. So you got the little kitty scream. So you got the little kitty laugh type thing, the clown car type horn. Really, well, you shouldn't have been in front of my car. Walking path. And by the way, this is in the old games. This used to be a. In the old games, that used to be a path, so you could get to the bar, I think. So, all right, I'm gonna stop talking about that. I'm gonna start talking about, well, me and a bunch of other stuff that I wanted to talk about because it's Wednesday, it's Hump Day. I want to get all my wording out, so let's have at it. So, this month and the first 3 months have been very, very slow. Although I will say this hasn't been a slow month in terms of views. I think I have like 100 views. This is the second most views I've had the entire year, and we're barely. I'm not answering that payphone. You get locked into a mission. So we're in the middle of the year. I did do two Gran Turismo videos on Monday. Was going to do a vlog yesterday, but I didn't want to do it. I wanted to save my energy for tonight and just tell you guys, what's going on. And I really don't need to really tell you guys very much, but Oh, shoot, I was about to run them over. I like how the car's like duh, duh, duh. So yeah, so a couple of things I want to highlight going forward. I'm not going to really offer any excuses because you guys are probably tired of them by now. I've hit 400 views for the 200 in January, and I had about 98. So I have about 4, almost have like 400 views now. So yeah, so because I had 90 last year, and so I had 98 last month, and now I have over 98 last month, and I think over 110. Yeah, so I have over 400 and some odd views now. So you guys know what happens after I hit 400. Basically, I go on a roll. So, I'm doing a vlog tonight. I won't do one tomorrow. I may do gameplay, but I upload some gameplay tomorrow, some actual gameplay from some of my games, and then Friday I will do a vlog or video edit and stuff like that. Yeah, look, it's the Giuliani Bridge. So I recently watched a movie 2 days ago. Watched Arthur the King, or King Arthur, Arthur the King. For those of you who don't know, it's based on a true story of the adventure races that they used to do, that they actually still do. It's like an Iron Man / Tough Man type thing, and Iron Challenge or whatnot. And it's basically a race that you have to traverse terrain, rocky terrain, mud. You have to rainy conditions. You basically compete in this rain or shine, and you have to climb cliffs. You have to ford streams. You have to paddle on open water in canoes. You have to bike on special made mountain bikes, zip lines, whatever natural terrain, so you can win. So the story follows Mark Wahlberg's character, Mikey Light, and how he entered one of the races in Costa Rica, and they actually lost on like the first day because one of his competitors, he pushed his competitors like halfway into the first stage. He pushed them a little too far, and they had to unfortunately abort. And then 3 years later, after he starts a family and he settles down, he's kind of bent out of shape that he didn't get that far, and that everybody went their separate ways. They blamed him from the stuff, and so 3 years later he gets a chance to actually do this again, and he actually assembles his old team minus one person because they retired, and then he gets his old navigator and then his shortcut guy, and they train for a few weeks, and they use, and what's funny is Wahlberg's character actually he lives in Colorado, which is basically hills, snow, and all this other stuff. So you can basically, perfect place to train in extreme conditions. So, and you have to be in good condition to race one of these, because the race is 430 miles, and it's actually, and he raced on a $50,000 budget. He would want to get $100,000, but he had to get a $50,000 budget, and he was going to get 25 of that because his guy Leo, who actually was a good coordinator and good decision maker, actually had to be on the whole thing. And Well, meanwhile, in the background follows the exploits of this dog that's in Costa Rica, the street dogs that's in the Dominican Republic, and actually the Dominican Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic, which is actually where the races actually takes place. And we find out that they have to trek 435 miles, 700 kilometers for those of you over in the European Union, and for those of you guys who use the ye old metric system over in Europe and in European Euro territories, you guys will know, or in Canada and my AA guys in Canada and stuff like that. So the A boys, the A same people. So they train. They go to Costa Rica and not Costa Rica. They go to the Dominican and they get on the start line. And what's funny is the dog in the movie is actually at the start line in the background somewhere. And they proceed to go through the route, and you know, the dog follows them, and you know, they're taking shortcuts and stuff like that, and you know, you get to see what they do, and I'm not going to spoil too much of it, but you know, they run into some issues and stuff like that, and they have to overcome certain obstacles. And Natalie, the girl, I think, Natasha Emanuel, Eve Moneypenny, for those of you who watch the Bond movie, watch the new Bond movies, is actually the climbing expert in their team. See, each person in the team has a role. I mean, there's a guy named Chicky who does navigation and who has a bad knee. Then there's Leo, who's basically the social media guy and kind of the flashy guy, but he's making decisions. And Wahlberg is team leader, and he's the one who basically calls the shots on what they do, and generally they just push through. Nothing really big happens, and then they get to a zip line area and they almost fall off. Him and the Bond girl almost fall off. The Moneypenny girl almost fall off, and they, you know, it's really, really good. And they then, you know, what really defines the movie is when the dog actually ends up saving them. So they come up to an area and the dog starts barking, and they look down, and there's I'm gonna say at least a 10-story drop, maybe more. They're looking at a cliff face. They almost ran off the cliff, and the dog could sense what was going on. He was like, no, obviously. And it was after they actually met him in a rest area. Mark Wahlberg ended up giving him a meatball, and then they got to another restaurant, and then he was like, oh, he's King Arthur, and they're like, you get some extra meatballs, Arthur. And the Swedish meatball, he carries this big bag. Now, at each transition place, I guess they have food, water, and a place to rest and sleep, and a medical team so that you can get patched up, IVs and stuff like that in case you're dehydrated, because it is the Dominican Republic and it does get unbearably hot. So they end up getting sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on how to drive at the moment. Sorry for my it's a medical van. Forget what's up here. That is a park down there, I think. No, that's a dock down there, because this is a burn battle down there. Typical of the 30s, because people didn't know. And yes, they do have Hoovervilles in this. You do actually, during one of the missions, you actually do actually chase some bad guys through Hoovervilles. Yes, that those did exist. If you guys don't know what Hoovervilles were, I don't know where they're on the map. But it's places where people used to sleep during the Great Depression because you couldn't afford to live anywhere because all the money was gone. Thanks to Herbert Hoover, unfortunately. See? I'm actually just going to get out for a little bit so you guys don't have to hear the car. But yeah, so... And the dog always... you look at the dog, and the dog always seems like it's they're always trying to push the dog along and stuff like that. 'Cause the dog doesn't seem right half of the movie. And I'm not going to spoil anything or not going to say anything in particular. It's just one of those things that I can't reveal because, well, it's a really good movie. So, that's a dam up there, I think. And that's a factory up there, which you can go to. Hey, somebody's trying to catch something for lunch. Not anymore. I watch some mad guy just come up to me and just hate my guts for knocking over his his thing to eat. So I think that's a marina right there, but I don't know. He's already breathing. You see how fit he is? Yeah, it's lay off the cannolis, Tommy. Lay off the cannolis, Tommy. I shouldn't talk. I eat some bad junk food. And I don't mean to. But yeah, so the dog follows them, and the guy who... Leo Chen or whatever his name is, Leo, ends up almost passing out through dehydration, and it gets quite serious. It gets quite serious. I kind of was like, I'm just sitting there going, I'm like, Leo, you need anything? They didn't take any water, so they end up having to take a 4-hour penalty for an IV, and doesn't take them that long to get up to speed, and then they continue, and they only have the thing is like 10, I think it's like 10, 11 stages long, and it's like 10, 11 stages long or more, and the dog's following them, and they actually at the end of it actually go back because they leave the dog because they're not allowed to, like, everybody knows that the dog's following them, but they won't allow the dog to travel with them on certain routes. They actually turn back and they get the dog. Unfortunately, I can't say any more about the story because I would ruin an amazing story. Yeah, I would ruin a really amazing story, so I can't really elaborate any more than that, because it would destroy the experience a little bit. And it's definitely a it's definitely a tearjerker movie. I was with a friend of mine who's big into dogs, so she wanted to go see the movie. My friend Meg, she's absolutely, she was goo goo gaga for dogs, and probably one of the nicest. And you can tell she's a dog person. She's probably one of the nicest people you'd ever meet. And she definitely has sympathy for the dogs. When the dog wasn't doing so well partway through the movie, and it looked like it hadn't been fed in days or months or whatever. It's a good feel-good movie, and she's owned dogs she's had a couple of dogs her whole life, so she knows exactly how it is, and they're part of the family, that sort of thing. So you learn that the dog's health catches up to it at the end of the movie. I'm not gonna spoil it because it's just that good of a movie. It is a tearjerker, so I do recommend you guys prepare a box of Kleenex, because it's that good of a movie. And it made me get a lump in my throat because, dog is practically the kind of the star of the show. And it just tears at you with what happens next. Again, I'm not revealing what happens because that would just spoil the fun. So that would just spoil the fun. So I do recommend it. A lot of you are probably going to sit there like, oh, I want to watch Kung Fu Panda or Dune or stuff like that. Yeah, Dune, don't get me wrong, Dune's a really storied franchise, but feel-good movies usually don't get that much. There was like 4 people in this movie. I'm pretty sure Dune is probably triple that. And I've actually seen my fair share of, me and Meg and I have seen our fair share of good feel-good movies. True story inspired and stuff like that. Those are always the great ones. The heartwarmers are always the greatest ones. There's only so much I can take of watching people just take each other out and shoot one another. It's not fun, It's never. Those movies are boring. So there's a way to get into the airport, but I forget how. There's a wall somewhere, or you have to do a jump. You have to do the jump just right off one of these. Yeah, you have to do the jump off one of these corners really good. And that's hard when it's raining, and there's a lot of dust and debris on the and you can't get in except the story. So yeah, but yeah, it's a real good feel-good movie. I definitely recommend it for anybody, especially those dog lovers out there will definitely like the ending. It definitely was refreshing after all they all went through. It was definitely refreshing to see the ending go this way. So and in real life, that would never happen. So it was a great movie. I approved. Meg approved. Well, she's the dog lover of my friends. Well, Thomas is too. So Thomas has a dog named Louie. He's grown very big. And I think it's the reason, and I think to this day, I think it was technically one of Thomas's first dogs, Tilly, that got me over my fear of dogs. So I have that to thank. If Tilly's over the rainbow row, or over the rainbow cloud, I wish your soul farewell. I wish your soul many thanks. So, I've always had a soft spot for dogs after that. So, and Arthur, definitely a very good movie dog. So, he was an amazing movie dog. It's kind of, if I had to rate movie dogs in terms of impact in the story, Enzo from Art of Racing in the Rain would be one of them. King Arthur. There's a few other ones out there I'm not sure of, but they'll come to me. But yeah, Enzo and Arthur definitely kind of just out there in terms of stuff like that. I've had, impact in my life. So there's Arthur. So my top number one is Arthur, Enzo, Wishbone from the TV series, and Wishbone from. Didn't mean to hit that car though. Yeah, so Wishbone. Yeah, so it's Arthur, Wishbone. Yeah, so I'd say it's Enzo, Arthur. We're big one. Enzo, Wishbone, Arthur are the dogs. Are also big. Also big in cinema. Buddy from Air Bud was definitely a good one. That was my childhood. I love that movie. Definitely a case of, and yeah, those are some of the top dogs that are from literature, or because basically, but I mean, from TV shows and movies and stuff like that. Those are kind of the ones that are really impactful, and it's kind of warms your heart a little bit. Especially Wishbone, always telling the tales, and there's always being a moral to the story. That was always a great show. But I always love movies like that. It just warms your heart, and our canine companions can do whatever. They can help us with a lot. So, oh Oh yes, and then Searchlight in White Fox. Definitely another top movie dog that definitely made a difference. Unfortunately, pure Searchlight, good old Searchlight, didn't fare so well. It was kind of sad. I remember, if you guys have read the book White Fox, it's about the Iditarod snow sled race. Really, really heartfelt thing, and heartfelt book. Real tearjerker. Probably one of the first emotional books I've ever read. Over to the Wishbone series, which is all about morals and learning stuff. And then Enzo was all about going through life's trials, which I also recommend. And I'm not going to do Wonder Dog or Super Dog or Astro Dog or whatever. I'm not going to talk about those ones because those ones are just goofy cartoons. So I always liked Wishbone because, Wishbone, the series was always cool. Wishbone was always the dog was always the dog in some historical figure, and he'd be dealing with a dilemma, and his owner Joe would also be dealing with a dilemma, or one of his friends would be dealing with a dilemma. So yeah, is this a church? Yeah, it is a church, but it's all booted up. Closed because of the Great Depression, bad. Is it a church? Yeah, it is. That little steeple? Yeah, it kind of gave it away. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there is a wind going through that thing. Yeah, there's a wind. Yeah, there's wind going through that whole thing. So yeah, but I do implore you guys to watch Arthur the King. Amazing movie. At a budget of $19 million, they're probably just going to get that. The reviews are a little mixed, but I really don't care what Siskel and Ebert or Ebert and Ebert or whatever they call themselves these days. I'm really not a big fan of the critics. I think they can shove their opinions up where the sun don't shine. So, but it is a great movie, and I really like it. It's really a cool movie. It's a movie I'm going to recommend to people who want to learn about perseverance through this, and how life can be a challenge, and it's kind of a metaphor for how life throws you a bunch of obstacles and challenges and stuff like that. See, that's one thing that I don't think they pick up on. They're so busy on... when I watch a movie, I usually do it for the story and for the moral and for the message. I don't give a damn how good a person's acting was, because it doesn't make the movie. The story makes the movie. And when you're doing a movie like that, the acting does matter, yes, because you are doing with a true story, but the way how the team of people acts is it being genuine kind of matters. So you can have a great cast and great cinematography, but if you're not going to stick to the facts like some movies of this genre do, it's not going to come out well. So it's, and you know, in an emotional film, you know, it's more about how the story is portrayed and how closely it was. Some of the names have changed because it was based on a foreign team and stuff like that, and they had to Americanize it, of course, because, you know, it's America, you know. But I don't understand why these critics just sit there like, oh, the acting was bad, the story was bad, the acting was cheesy and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't focus on that. I focus on the story and the emotional bit of it, and people are so entrenched in this person's performance and that person's performance. I'm like, one person's performance doesn't make or break the movie. If everybody went out of turn and everybody didn't play their role right, then I'd say yes. But I think everybody played their role the way they were supposed to, and you know, the way they portrayed stuff, you know, I can tell there was a little fluff in there, but not much, as I think. But, you know, people just don't sit there and they go, oh, it's a, you know, the way they're doing this, it's a metaphor for, especially with the dog, it's a metaphor for, you know, life's obstacles and what you go through and why these people race and stuff like that. And I like them, and I like that question. They're discussing sponsorship. They asked why he races, and he's like, yeah, because I like the challenge. I want to better myself, and I want to overcome my limits, and I want to be a better person. And, you know, to doing things out of your comfort zone and doing multiple things, you can learn more, and you can also be more adept at stuff like that. People who are in that will be very good at managing terrain and judging certain situations and stuff like that. There's a lot in there, and people just who judge these movies and stuff like that, they just sit there like, oh, everybody's focused on the acting. How about focusing on the story and what people are doing in there? Because, and it's funny because people will sit there and they will go, oh, this movie's pathetic because it's about real life, and we don't, and it's like, and it's been the neck, blah, 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 blah. And then you watch a superhero movie come out, and it's like, oh, wow, I can fly. I'm like, I'm better than you because I have a superpower. And everybody claps their hands, and the movie gets like $1 billion, gets like $500 million. People are just it's basically a popularity contest, and everybody's like, oh, that's my favorite superhero. I think it's better than this fictional character, that fictional character, which I can't stand because everybody has their opinion. Yes, Stan Lee's Marvel series, it's great. I think it's an all-time passion, and it did do a lot, but I think you should take that series at face value and stuff like that after a while. I mean, it does inspire people, don't get me wrong. It's definitely inspired some people I've known, just like the Dragon Ball series has inspired me to push my limits and overcome obstacles and not give in just when the going gets tough. So, but I think this movie, a real-life story, definitely conveys that a little bit better. And these movies really don't get the viewership they deserve. Everybody's like, oh, we want to watch Dune, we want to watch Kung Fu Panda, we want to watch Jack Black make a bunch of fat jokes and all this other stuff, and all these adult jokes that no one's going to get. So it's good to have a down-to-earth, realistic movie, and how grueling one of those Iron Men / grueling Iron Man challenges is, because those are no joke. I mean, you have to be in peak peak physical condition. You got to be very disciplined. You have to be able to, you have to be built well. You just can't sit there and go, oh, I'm just going to go off the couch and I'm just going to do it. You or me would have to train, you or me or I or everybody else in this world would have to train months and months and months on end to get a feel for what it's like and actually get ourselves in condition, because in these places they have to deal with rain, they have to deal with heat, and they have to deal with the effects of humid weather after it rains and stuff like that. Not easy, and I tip my hat to the people who do it, because it's not an easy thing. But it's just like anything, you try to test yourself and become a better person, and that's, I kind of wish people in movies would do that more often, instead of like, oh, this person killed that role, that person did this role. And I'm like, I think movies have lost their touch a little bit. Movies lost their touch. I mean, everybody's interpretation is different, but I wish my friends that have watched movies are very honest with their movie reviews, but I wish the movie people who actually watch these, because I've seen them talk bad about a Bond movie, and the Bond movie was actually pretty good. So, and critics are going to sit there and go, I think everybody's like, if you guys, I'm just going to recommend it. I'm going to recommend it. If you guys are sick of all these superhero and all these fantasy movies that are coming out, all these fantasy superhero movies, all these superhero movies that are coming out, and you guys want a different variety, please watch this movie. It's really good. It is definitely worth the $16.50, or how much your theaters are out there and stuff like that. Especially to my foreign viewers, it is very good. And if you're a dog lover, I definitely do recommend it, because it does tug at your heartstrings. I'll tell you this right now, I had a lump in my throat. Like, there's a scene in the movie where they're trying to tell Wahlberg the condition of the dog, speaking in a foreign language, no subtitles, but I don't think I needed subtitles. They were in a dog clinic, and I really didn't need subtitles. I basically heard 3 or 4 words that I kind of recognized in Spanish, because Dominican is actually Spanish. So, and I heard the words, and I'm like, really? After all that, you guys after all they've been through, you want the dog to be the hero of the movie? You guys will know when you guys come to the part. You guys are like, wow, this dog saved their lives and pushed them, kept them going and stuff like that, and taught them and kind of conveyed the thing of teamwork and stuff like that. But I do recommend it, and it's very lifelike, because people, I won't tell you the results of the series, but I'm just going to tell you there's at the end of it, it's worth more. The finishing the race and is not worth as much as the team spirit and all and from their 5th team member, because it's a 4-man team, 4-man and woman team. So, yeah, I do recommend it, and I will see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I haven't done this in a long time, so I hope I sound okay and stuff like that. And I've really never done a movie review, but I'll see you guys maybe Friday and Saturday. I'm going to do a gear change show. I'm going to do a gear change show on time, and I'm actually going to have a topic. I might talk to you guys about pre-war racing, actually, since we're in a 30s game. I'm going to talk about Grand Prix racing in the 30s, I think. Where's my car? Where's my car at? Yeah, here's where my car is. But yeah, I'll see you guys later, and I will pick this up. I'll upload gameplay tomorrow, and then I will upload might upload a vlog at the end of the night, and then Friday I'll do another video, and then I might actually I won't go to work till 12 tomorrow, so I might do a video early in the morning, maybe 10 o'clock before I go. So, and I'll upload gameplay like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And then I'll do a vlog when I come home after I take a shower and do whatever. And then Saturday, after I come home from work, I'll go for a walk, and then I'll do a gear change show on Saturday. So I hope you guys are ready for things to kick in high gear, because I am. So, and this is the beginning of a change. I needed to take a walk around and a drive around and tell you guys about a story. So, and I feel driving in a car kind of symbolizes that. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I will see you guys later. Good night.